Well, folks, we are just 2 days removed from the election of Donald Trump to the office of United States president, and already big movements are happening, big shifts are happening, and big babies are out on the streets protesting. And today, Donald Trump went to his new office. He went to the White House. He spoke with Barack Obama. And this is going to be tough for me to do, but I am actually going to compliment Barack Obama here. First of all, I couldn't even imagine what this conversation was like, considering the veracity between these two during the election cycle, the things that Obama has said about Trump, the things that Trump has said about Obama. It's almost as if Trump is now being, put into the realm of being a politician. Let's recall, Obama and Hillary fighting during their campaign. Now all of a sudden they love each other. Not saying Trump and Obama love each other, but they did meet today. Now, here were the powerful words that came from Barack Obama. I believe that it is important for all of us, regardless of party, regardless of political preference, to now come together, work together, and deal with the many challenges that we face. I want to emphasize to you, Mr. President-elect, that we now are going to want to do everything we can to help you succeed, because if you succeed, the country succeeds. Now, my question is, will the protesters listen to their leader, Barack Obama? They take anything Barack Obama says as gospel, but will they heed this call to work with Trump, to work with the Trump movement in order to make America better? So far, not the case. They are out protesting like a bunch of Arrested Development babies. Now, I don't know. Now, again, these are powerful words from Barack Obama. Whether he means it or not, you be the judge, but that's what he said. Now, Donald Trump said, I quote, "We discussed a lot of different situations, some wonderful and some difficulties. I'm very much looking forward to dealing with the president in the future, including counsel." I pray that Obama doesn't counsel Trump at all, but we'll see. This is Trump being presidential. Then he says, "Mr. President, it was a great honor meeting you, and I look forward to meeting with you many, many more times in the future." So again, this is Donald Trump being presidential. What you think of this visit, what you think of Barack Obama and Trump meeting and the things they said, we'll find out what kind of gravity or what type of honesty these comments had. But this was a major event. And again, if these people that take everything Barack Obama says as gospel who are out protesting, I mean, a lot of these people are protesting probably because of the things Obama said, demonizing Trump so much. Why don't they listen to Barack Obama and what he said there, saying we need to work together to make this country great again? Shocking, Barack Obama. You know what this is, though? I just realized this. This is just like we saw earlier today on the Alex Jones show. All of these politicians, folks, they're such frauds. They're such cowards. This is Obama realizing he's lost, realizing he's defeated, and just like any other shill politician, trying to cozy up to the people that are coming into power. I think that that's what this is more than anything. But hey, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, and I hope that the protesters heed his call to work together with the people in the Trump movement to make this country better, because that's all we want to do. I wish you weren't brainwashed protesting, and we'll get into this right now. Anti-Trump protests turn violent. Cops clash with 6,000 strong crowd in Oakland as activists block roads in LA amid nationwide demonstrations that saw Madonna and Cher join 7,000 in New York City. Oh, Madonna and Cher. Wait a second. Cher, you're supposed to be on the first plane out of town. You're not supposed to be protesting Donald Trump. You're out. You're moving. You're fleeing the country. Your house is on the market, Cher. What are you doing protesting? Is Cher that stupid? I mean, I guess that's the question. In Los Angeles, the disorganized protests of thousands saw fires on City Hall steps and Freeway 110 taken over. Wait a second. Wasn't it Trump that wasn't going to be able to hand over power peacefully? Wasn't it Obama telling us, wasn't it Clinton telling us that it's a tradition in this country, the peaceful transition of power? But then it's the Clinton supporters that are out there violent. It's the Clinton supporters that are burning the American flag. Shocking. Oh, and by the way, they're protesting because he's anti-woman. Kellyanne Conway, first woman to ever successfully be a campaign manager to win the office of president. Okay, so there's your anti-woman protest buried in the ground. But it goes further. They want white people to die. They want white people to die, and they're spraying it on the sides of buildings, chanting it in the streets because Trump is such a racist. Now, here's the thing for me. Oh, and also, Alex was talking about this a lot today. The woman that went on CNN basically saying that violence needs to happen because of this Trump election. And she said there will be casualties on both sides. Let me explain something to her and to anyone else who feels this way. I'm not a violent person. The Trump movement is not a violent movement, folks. We did this politically, okay? We didn't do it with protests. We didn't do it by burning flags. We did it politically. We did it with truth. We did it with honor. Now, everything on the other side was done in dishonor and dishonesty, but we still were victorious. But let me explain something. If you're sitting here trying to promote a civil war between Trump supporters and the Trump protesters, or just any sort of a nature like that, your side will be eliminated in 24 hours. It will not even be a fight. Do they even understand that? She's calling for violence, but again, let me explain. If you really promoted a civil war against the Trump movement, you and everybody on your side of this would be eradicated within 24 hours. Now, this is not what we want. I'm not sitting here up here saying that that's what we want. Trust me, that's not what we want. I would rather see these people cleansed of their brainwashing and to join our movement and to actually want to build a better future for this country, for their lineage. But it's interesting because, you know, we know that there's a depopulation plan in place. We know that they use the media to foment civil unrest. Maybe this is what they want. Maybe this is the agenda, folks. I mean, think about it. If they really want to promote this civil war, if they really want to push this civil war, we know what will happen. Now, maybe this is the plan to eradicate the dumbest people in this country is by fomenting this civil war where the brainwashed masses try to take on the patriots. And then, you know, at the end of the day, when the smoke clears within 24 hours, the brainwashed masses are gone. It's not what I want, but they're the ones on the streets calling for violence. You see that? That's not us. Even if Clinton won, we weren't calling for violence, folks. But they're already planning more protests, and we'll get to that in a minute. But look, you know, this is from Infowars.com. Shock video, black mob viciously beats white Trump voter. This isn't the first story. This isn't the first video. But Trump is racist. Trump supporters are racist. There's the video. This is disgusting. You know what, folks? Let me tell you something. I shouldn't even say. I'm not going to try to sound like Alex Jones here. It's just don't try that crap with me, okay? I'll just leave it at that. Now, here's the thing. Van Jones, who is a friend of mine, many of you have probably seen Van Jones and I in a conversation on the streets. Van Jones, he can't handle this. Van Jones, he doesn't know what to do. You know, because Trump is worse than a racist. I'm quoting Van Jones. He's worse than a racist. I mean, so, you know, in Van Jones' mind, somebody who's worse than a racist, worse than Hitler, I guess, just got elected president. That's Van Jones. He doesn't know what to do, folks. He doesn't know what to tell his kids. He doesn't know what to tell his audience. But here's what he is telling them. He's telling them that this was a white lash. So here's my question to Van Jones. Hey, Van, are you going to take responsibility for this crap? Are you going to take responsibility for these innocent white people getting savagely beaten by black people because they believe that racism is prevalent? They believe that these Trump voters are racist? Are you going to feel guilt for that, Van Jones? Are you going to take any responsibility for that, mainstream media, Barack Obama? I doubt it. I doubt it. But I'll tell you what, we're going to hold you accountable. We know who you are. We know what you're doing. And Van Jones, we had a powerful discussion on the street, but I just got to say, my friend, you really need to think about what you're doing. Believe whatever you want about Trump. That's perfectly fine. But if you don't understand that you're fomenting racial violence in this country and that now what you're seeing on the streets with white people getting beaten because they're Trump supporters, you just need to take a serious look in the mirror, Van Jones. And that goes to all the mainstream media out there. We know exactly what you did. We know exactly who's to blame. And I think it's sad that Van Jones gets up here, demonizes Donald Trump, and then foments racial violence in this country. That's deplorable to me. Now, we've got Trump protests already happening by the thousands. but they're already planning on protesting the inauguration, folks. Protest at Trump's presidential inauguration. These are flyers that are being handed out at protests all across this country. I wonder if George Soros has anything to do with this. And there's also Facebook groups. So you got buses taking people to D.C. to protest Trump's inauguration. You've got all of these Facebook groups sprouting up now. They're going to go protest Donald Trump's nomination. Not my president. Not my president. Well, he is your president. And no matter how much you protest, he's going to be the next president of the United States. And the sad thing about it, folks, is the mindset of these people. Morning after Donald Trump's election, people are comparing it to 9/11. Now, they're doing this because of the numerics. So they're saying, 11/9, 9/11, but they're actually also comparing these events. Just yesterday in the LA Times, students who were protesting were being interviewed, and they're saying, why are you protesting? Because this is devastating. Trump's nomination is devastating. Devastating? Devastating? You don't have a clue about devastation, okay? Let's be perfectly clear. So this is the nature of the Donald Trump protesters beating white people in the street because they're racist, comparing the election of Trump to devastation and 9/11. Truly pathetic. And I'll tell you what, your time is done. This is it for you. Enjoy your little protest, okay? Enjoy your little protest. Have a little pizza and soda party and do whatever you want to do. This is it for you, okay? You're done. You're done. So enjoy it while it lasts. Hollywood studios are in a daze. A daze. Many of us will be scared and threatened. Oh my gosh, folks, a strange silence has descended on Hollywood Wednesday as stunned studio executives, agents, and producers went through the motions as they tried to process Hillary Clinton's surprise loss to Donald Trump. It's so surprising. What about the polls? I saw the polls. Hillary was winning. I'm shocked. What is going on here? And then Jeremy Zimmer sends out this memo. Jeremy Zimmer is a talent agent, a CEO of a talent agency. Many of us will be scared and threatened, and we can give comfort. Some of us will be happy because our voice was heard, but either way, it's a challenging moment, so let's be extra sensitive. We need to be extra sensitive with these snowflakes that can't handle Donald Trump, folks. Well, here's an idea. Cal Exit. Hollywood, you're in California. Maybe you can join the Cal Exit. California wants to succeed from U.S. over Trump election. Tell you what, go ahead and succeed. You have more debt than any other state in this country. And then we'll take it one further. You can have Hillary Clinton as your president. So that'll be nice for you. Go ahead. And then maybe we'll build a wall. Maybe we'll build a wall on the California border too. How do you like that? You won't be able to afford it. You can't afford anything. You're so much in debt, California. But I will say this. People were asking me how I feel about the Electoral College. Seeing the fact that California could basically, with the popular vote, determine the presidential election, I'm going to have to say that I like the Electoral College. I don't want those brain-dead liberals in California deciding who's president. The one scenario, now this is interesting, folks. Maybe there is some hope for people like Sarah Silverman and Amy Schumer. They were looking for hope. I mean, they have no hope because Trump won. The one scenario that could still get Hillary Clinton into the White House. Now, of course, this would be the Electoral College voters not voting with the decision of the actual voters. This is called the faithless elector. And of course, the whole entire map is red, folks. Every county except the inner cities and the sanctuary cities is red. Those are the only cities that are blue. Yeah, there you go. There's the map right there. So for them to do that would be, I mean, such treason against the American public. It would be unbelievable. But hey, maybe that's some hope for your movement, Sarah Silverman, whatever that is. Or Bernie Sanders actually suggested today he might be considering running for president in 2020. So maybe Bernie Sanders comes back in. That would actually be interesting, even though he's a total shill. But of course, I guess that's why they would want him in. Now, James Comey faces a complicated path under Trump administration. Does he try to serve out the remaining 7 years of his term under a president who has publicly questioned the FBI's integrity? Well, yeah, they can't even indict a known criminal. Or does he stay on as a safeguard against executive power and a guide for a novice president on complex security matters? Or I'll go ahead and throw another one out there for you, Yahoo, since you can't wrap your mind around it. Or he's fired. You fired, James Comey. Now, I thought that James Comey reopening this investigation into Clinton might mean that he has a spine left. He realized Trump was going to win, and he wanted to have a job in a Trump administration. But I'm not sure if that's the case. But I can't even believe Yahoo. Does James Comey stay in office in order to be a safeguard against Trump's executive power? How about all the executive orders from Barack Obama? Was James Comey doing anything about that? No. And the FBI is a failed agency. Again, they can't indict Hillary Clinton, who's already being indicted by the public. We have the WikiLeaks. We have all the information, folks. So we'll see what happens with James Comey. But 2 days into the Trump election, and we're already seeing the aftermath.
In the past decade, we have witnessed unparalleled scientific discoveries in the area of health. But no one has put together a formula that focuses directly on brain health, nerve growth factors, and optimizing your cellular energy at the same time. DNA Force is one of the most expensive formulas to produce. Some of the ingredients in DNA Force are $12,000 a kilogram. We are using the coveted, patented, only American source of PQQ, CoQ10, and more. You want the best that's out there at the lowest price anywhere? Well, we're bringing you a total win-win. The ultimate value, cutting-edge, trailblazing game changer that also supports the InfoWar. We have produced a limited run of DNA Force, and it will take up to 12 weeks to produce more once we sell out. Secure your DNA Force today at InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139.